When you're younger, you're taught fitting in is expected of you. You should be like everyone else, right? Because if you're like everyone else, that's a good thing. But as I grew older, my mind changed about that. I quickly learned that the people I was fitting in with weren't like me and weren't people who I would want to fit in with. Hey guys, it's Interops. Today we're going to be talking about the importance of being authentic and how fitting in might be your downfall because in a world obsessed with blending in, I'd rather see you stand out with class. Nowadays, everyone gets led down the same path. Everyone wants to be like each other, everyone's got the same ideas, everyone's chasing the same trends, repeating the same opinions, and they're all wearing the same faces. And the worst part is, most don't even know they're doing it. And that's not the right way to live your life. You know, you should always try to be you. And at a certain point, when I was younger, I always wanted to fit in. I wanted to be like everybody else. But at a certain point, my mind just changed. At some point, I stopped asking if people liked me and started asking if I liked who I was around them. And at a certain point, it clicked for me. I realized you can't build peace without performing for approval. Authenticity isn't rebellion. You're not going against everybody else, but it's just aligning to who you are. It's what happens when your actions match your values. And as soon as that changed, as soon as that mental shift came to me, it definitely changed me for sure. I cut off friends, people who I once, spent hours talking to, who I spent years knowing. And I said, these people, they're not like me. I'm different to them. Is that a bad thing? No. It's a simple differentiation of values, of ideas, of goals, and values. The lesson here is the person who's real, you're not always going to get liked. No, not everyone's going to like you. And I can easily say that from personal experience. I've lived an incredibly authentic life, and I've had many people disagree with me, not like me, and I've lost friendships because of that. Do I regret that? No. I created even better friendships due to me actually being myself, being the real self that I am. Because if you act fake, then people are going to empathize and like the fake you. They're not going to know the real you. And spending all that time putting on a show, putting on an act, that's not who you're meant to be. You can do a lot better than that, right? And let's be honest. Most men, they chase approval their whole lives, but a man of class, he earns it through consistency. Fitting in is easy. Most people, they don't have high expectations, they don't have high goals. So acting like them, it's not that difficult. Play the video games, go to the parties, drink this, do a little bit of that, whatever it is. But refinement isn't. That's why so few choose it. The more authentic you become, the smaller your circle gets, but the higher your peace climbs. Personally, nowadays, my life, it's a lot more quiet than it was before due to me just being around the people that I genuinely have a connection with, not people who I knew through associates of others or I was mutual with. I just said, if I don't like this person, I'm not going to associate myself with them because that's not who I want to be known for. And I didn't want them to feel bad about me not liking them. So sometimes I would just, keep a friendly relationship. But at a certain point, I said, if I don't like somebody, you know what? That's just what I'm going to do. That's just who I am. Because, at a certain point, I realized the world doesn't need more noise. It needs more men who know who they are. You'll be misunderstood, you'll be judged, but eventually you'll be respected. Look, here's the facts, right? You're not here to blend in. The people who watch the channel like Interops, they want to do something great. They want to bring class to a world that might seem classes on the outside, but slowly but surely, one piece at a time, we're going to change it. We're going to fix this. Be yourself, feel comfortable in your own skin. If you're tall, embrace it. If you're short, embrace that too. If you're weak, accept that fact, but do not be okay with it. Attempt to become strong, for that is your genuine self at this moment, and that's who you are. But always try to become better. The fact is, when you stand tall in your truth, you stop chasing dreams and start building them. If you have an opinion that people disagree with, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Just say your truth. If someone asks you something, tell them. Don't try to don't you don't live for other people. You live for yourself. No matter what, in every single thing that you do, in every single action that you take, in every single place that you go, stop attempting to fit in. Act as in the most authentic self you can be. Because the connections you make, the friends you make, the business that you conduct, and everything that you do, if you do it as your real self and people like that person who they spoke to, or that friend, that person you were talking to, they liked you, they liked the real you. They didn't like you. They didn't like this act. that you put on. Because once you think about this, right? If you always put on an act, then you have to keep that act going forever. There's no relaxing, there's no letting the mask slip, because otherwise that person, they were like, "Oh, this is not the person who I thought it was." But if you make yourself clear from the beginning, if you don't hide, if you don't tiptoe around anything, you genuinely just say, "This is me," and if you don't like me, then you can go, and it's no problem. You can be a gentleman about it, to be honest. Be respectful, be calm. Yeah, fellas. I think this has been Inner Ops, the inner desire for success decides the outward operations to achieve it. Good luck.